All right, guys. So this is podcast number 1 for your unit 1 and 2 test. We'll see how many this takes. Let me go hide this little thingy. All right. So this is technically from the old course framework, but it still works. So this is everything 600 to 1450. So this goes back a little ways. And I would suggest pausing it and kind of looking at it just so you can kind of see what's going on, where so like what's going on as far as the different regions are concerned. So I would pause this, take time, then like look over it, and then like I said, hop back into the video. All right, so this is kind of some of the big picture stuff that's going on, particularly for Unit 1. Sorry, which is all the global tapestry stuff. So again, I would pause and make sure that I go look over the map, read all the little stuff that's down here on the bottom. So it shows you in orange, Dar al-Islam, the Delhi Sultanate, which they're not doing a whole lot, your trade kingdoms, China and Japan, your African kingdoms, so Great Zimbabwe, Mali over in West Africa, Europe, what's going on there. Then you have your kingdoms in the Americas. So like we'll kind of come back and talk about some of these later. Things to know over here on the map. You have Cordoba, which remember is the when the Umayyads go to Spain and they are expanding, they set that up as their capital, so it has a lot of Islamic architecture. Hanseatic League with Mali, which is Mansa Musa, Timbuktu, their capital, which is a center of learning. Like I said, then you have your Swahili states over here, Ethiopia, Great Zimbabwe's chilling down there. Crusades are going on over here in the Middle East. Then you have the Seljuk Turks that kind of come in and eventually settle, take over the Byzantine Empire, set up the Ottoman Empire. And then you have your Sui Tang Song, the Yuan, which are the Mongols. Then you get to the Ming. Then you have Korea that has a tributary relationship with China. Japan gets influenced a lot from China. Vietnam, which also has a tribute relationship with China. So like I said, things to kind of be aware of, like what's going on. All right, so what used to be Key Concept 3.1, which is still kind of Key Concept 3.1, is all of the expansion of communication and exchange networks. So this is a big overview of all the trade that's going on. So let's start over here in Europe, where you have the concept of banking that's making its way to Europe. You have all these new foods that eventually make their way to Europe. Like over here, you have citrus products that make their way. Like I said, bananas, banking, paper money. Yay, paper money. Porcelain. You have Marco Polo who's coming from there. So like I said, you have the plague that's going to make its way to Europe at some point. And that's in the mid 1300s. Then over here you have the trans-Saharan trade with your camels. So you have Ghana and Mali, and Timbuktu is the capital. Remember, they're using caravans and camel saddles, and so they're going all throughout this area. The little red line over here are your Silk Roads that are connecting China to the Middle East, to Constantinople. The lovely blue over here is going to be your exchange in the Indian Ocean. Remember, that's facilitated by your monsoon winds in different seasons. So depending on what season you're sailing, it is going to depend like what goods you're trading. And so that's going to connect all your East African city-states with the Middle East. You have the Ming treasure ships. You have like the little green dots, which are your Arabs, and you have your Chinese merchants, and then your Malay people, and then they're going to India for spices, and then Ibn Battuta popping up everywhere because this is what he did 75,000 miles later. You are going to also have your that are part of like the Mongol Empire, your caravanserai, which are going to be over here on your Silk Road, which are the nice little resting areas. And then we have Buddhism spreading and champa rice and iron and silk and gunpowder. So, like I said, take a minute, pause, go look through all this. It's really, really complicated and confusing and busy, but this is what trade was. These are all of the big trade routes that are going on, all the religions, the technology, the environmental stuff, the people involved. So make sure that you like really come back and look at this. So this one is just specifically about Indian Ocean. So again, pause, come look at it. You have nutmeg over here. That's going to be spread. Oh, where'd my thing go? These are all of your different trading kingdoms that we have down here. So like the Khmer, the Macha, Pahit, Sravagia, Malacca, all these people. Your spices in India. We have textiles. Again, we're showing Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta, the monsoon winds, the junk, all our little diasporic communities. So like the Chinese merchants that are living over here, not in China, and the Persians who are living over here in Africa, not in Persia. So these are all the people involved in trade. You have gold salt trade, you have timber, you have books, textiles, like I said, the technology, which is like the compass and the astrolabe. So this is all the stuff that's going to end up facilitating trade in the Indian Ocean. And it just becomes more and more complex. You get more trade cities, more people involved. And that's basically what trade is. So the Indian Ocean is the big one during this point. As far as all the different environmental consequences of trade, you can look like you have sugar, which is the white line, like where it's coming from, where it's going, how long it takes to get there. Then you have bananas, all your citrus fruit, your champa rice that's tribute from Vietnam going to China, the plague that starts somewhere over here that goes to China, then is spread along trade routes and makes it to Europe by 1453 because you have the fleas on the rats and the ships, and then people end up dying because you have the little ice age and their diets were bad. So I just want y'all to kind of realize how all of this stuff ties together and connects. They're not just little single solitary events that happen in isolation. So a not as busy map that's just showing you again all of the trade routes. So red is Silk Road, blue is Indian Ocean, green's your Mediterranean, sub-Saharan, you have the Incan roads, and then all the little stars represent all of our trade cities. So these are some of the big cities that pop up during this time period. Sorry, these cities are not going anywhere. They're going to continue, to be centers of trade. And so we're still going to come back and talk about them. So just kind of know where they are, because I do foresee a map test in your future when we get to units 3 and 4. All right. So again, some trade things that are used over here in China. The only thing that the Sui dynasty does is the Grand Canal. Well, the only thing, but like the big thing that they did to help trade in China. You have your Hanseatic League over here in medieval Europe, which is like their little group of people that's helping trade. And then in the Incan Empire, they have their road system like the Romans and the Persians so that they can trade and communicate all throughout their empire. I'm going to look at my little thing and see how much time I have, because I don't know how much time we have left. It should tell me here in a minute. Can I move that? Oh, look, I can. We'll move it out of the way. Sort of, kind of. Okay. So, talking about trans-Saharan trade, I digress. The people that are involved in that originally are your Arabs and your Berbers, and then those people go on to be your